on no downsides. I have 80% win rate. I'm the best Magic the Gathering player.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Yap, he's Tap, and today we're talking about a sick deck. What's up, Tappers? In
Good day.
today's video, we're talking about a really bad deck that no one should play.
What's up, Yappers? If you're a Yapper, this is the deck for you. Welcome to TAPANDYAP, the cEDH podcast where two Aussies tap lands and yap nonsense, but mostly about winning. Hi, I'm Riley.
And I'm Jack. And today, we're talking about my deck. We're talking about Sisay, the Weatherlight captain. We're doing a deck breakdown, kind of talking about the different varieties of Sisay, just kind of going through everything to do with Sisay. I've been playing this deck for about 8, maybe 9 months now. Doing pretty good performance-wise. Got a decent chunk of top 10s, top 16s, top 4 to tournament. Done 2 top 4s, actually. But yeah, this deck is really, really incredible. Really, really fun. Really enjoying it. So I thought, what better yet to then talk about it? I think I have a fairly good understanding of how it all works. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Probably just jumping into the first question of just like, why Sisay? Like over any other, like the 5-color commanders or like different commanders you played. Why Sisay?
So originally, I'm a Nagila player. Originally, I played Nagila. That was my go-to deck. I don't know, like 8 months, 9 months. While I was doing that, I was also playing Kenrith, and this is when Dockside was like on like in the format and stuff like that, and I was playing a lot of that. And then 2 or 3 weeks before the ban came out, I printed off Sisay to play just because I thought it was a really cool deck. The bans came out. Nagila didn't feel so great. I moved around for a while, and then I kind of just picked it up. It's the best 5-color deck, in my opinion. There are 4 different types that we'll go over in a minute. 5 colors always been what I've interested in. I like playing all the available cards in cEDH, which are really great. But I think also just like the ability to win at instant speed whenever I want, however I want, the freedom to really adapt based on what the current situation is, as well, is super important to me. And also just like how fun it is to win with this deck. It feels so not easy to win with this deck, but there are so many ways to win. There's so many available options. There's just so much freedom when playing this deck.
Yeah, for sure. Just like super toolboxy, and like just also like a little bit of brewer's advantage because there's also just like, are you on like planeswalkers versus not planeswalkers? It's like kind of hard to sit down from a Sisay and look at like what they're doing, and like sometimes it's hard. It's pretty much just like kill Sisay on site. That's all I'm saying is never let them get a Sisay activation. If you do, you're gonna lose the game.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. Sometimes. It
Sometimes.
doesn't. So before we jump into what the 4 different types of Sisays are, let's kind of talk about what Sisay is. Sisay is 2 and a white for a legendary creature, human soldier. Whenever Sisay, Weatherlight Captain, gets +1/+1 for each color among other legendary permanents you control, and then you can pay Wooburg, a white, a blue, a black, a red, and a green. Search a library for a legendary permanent card with mana value less than Sisay's power, then put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. And she's a 2/2, so generically, without any legendaries on the battlefield, you can pay 5 mana and go and get a 1 mana legendary permanent, or a 0 drop, which I guess we'll get to in a little bit later. But yeah, so you'll notice when we talk about most of these Sisay lists, it is 50% mana, 50% legendaries, and most likely those legendaries are either mana or like win conditions. There is like, I play like 4 non-legendary creatures and like a bunch of like that's it. The legendary bit super important. This, now that we've kind of established how Sisay works a little bit more, we'll talk about the variety of decks as well. So like, for example, the most generic one that's probably been around for a while is your Planeswalkers. You have Amanatu, you have the Nicobolas, you have, Saheeli Rai and all that stuff. You're also playing Chromatic Ori, and you're playing the Oath of Teferi. Oath of Teferi and all that stuff was, in my opinion, a lot better back when Dockside Extortionist was out, because you could cast Dockside Extortionist, make 5 treasures, go get Amanatu, and then Amanatu would basically bounce the Dockside Extortionist, which goes against you, the Nicobolas. Nicobolas can then use the ability from Amanatu, and basically you kind of just make this pattern and combo where you go and get a variety of different legends to win the game that way. If you want to learn more about Sisay, there is a very, very well-written book in the Sisay Discord. If I can leave it in the description, I will. I'm pretty sure it's just a Google file. But it's the Book of Sisay. It's really, really good. I read it every now and then just to kind of refresh my mind on all the available options. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Definitely worth checking out. So that's the OG, the Planeswalker line. I'm not going to talk about the creatures and stuff like that because they're a lot of the same most of the time. You'll see random stuff, but that's, again, the freedom. You see a Magda, you see Gilded Drake. I've pretty much played everything.
Yeah.
Your next option is a more 5-color soup build that, like, I have been semi-interested in, but realistically, it's playing... You could take a Terra deck, copy-paste it into Sisay, and it's basically identical, playing Necro Dominance, Necro Potence, Underworld Breach, playing, your generic artifacts here, but as you can see, Ad Nauseam, Beseech the Mirror, just like you could take a Rog Sai, right? Copy-paste that in and play a couple of other random bits and pieces here.
Playing 5-color good stuff. Like, in playing 5 colors, you have every single way to win the game in the deck and all the ways to make mana in the deck, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I think like the only reason that you might pick Sisay over a Terra or something like that is because you can tutor a Teferi at instant speed and like win, like on the player before you Zen step tutor Teferi. You have basically a very high chance of winning with an Underworld Breach line or Ad Nauseam or if you need to or whatever. Yeah, and then I guess the more unique one that I've never seen be played before, but apparently is like semi-played, is a Sisay and Gigantha, the Wellspring list. Basically, you play it in the command zone, and your goal is to get Gigantha out on the battlefield as fast as possible, give it haste, and then you win through numerous different Sisay loops. Really funny that I find this list super interesting is it plays Treasonous Ogre. So like if you get an early Treasonous Ogre, you can play the Gigantha, you give it haste. There's a lot of cool, interesting cards in here, and if you want to play more of a odd sporadic list, there's definitely something that you could do, And then, of course, the final list here is my list. I think you said it earlier, and I like the word a lot, toolbox, where it is just a wide variety of different cards that come together to be... They all do their certain thing, right? They all have their piece of the puzzle. They all are kind of utility pieces, and they all kind of do certain things. So we're going to talk about my list just because I know it very well.
I think just like probably the best place to start is probably just like talking about like favorite way to win the game. Like, it's like everyone loves winning the game. What's kind of like your like go-to way or like your favorite way to win the game or close the game out with Sisay?
Yeah, absolutely. Win conditions or win lines in Sisay kind of start by making infinite mana through numerous ways. My favorite way to make infinite mana is using something like a Marvelous Murderous Mimic, a Bloom Tender, and a Irith of the Healing House with haste. These all need to have haste. You either have it through Tyvar, or they generically are on the battlefield, and you make infinite mana, and then you can go and get Mount Doom. Mount Doom's my favorite way, just because like kind of killing your opponents with lands in a competitive heavy format like cEDH is just very fun to me. Basically, the way that this works is that you can pay 1 black and a red tap. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. You can go and get like a Emil and a Derevi after you've made infinite mana and blink the Derevi to untap the Mount Doom over and over again. So that's super cool. That's probably my favorite. I just use it the most because it's just super easy to explain to the opponents.
Yeah, for sure. Probably just the amount of times I've died to a land pinging me for 1 damage is ridiculous. If you want to jump into just like the other ways to how to win the game, like how are you looking to like make infinite mana? How are you like looking to close out the game in Sisay?
Yeah, absolutely. So talk a little bit more, I guess, about the mana dork ways, I guess. So for example, my current list is playing Bloom Tender, Faber Elder, and Savala. They all kind of do the same thing as long as they tap for 4 mana or Wooburg, depending on which combo you're going for. There are a little bit of a wider variety of certain things, but for example, let's say that your Bloom Tender taps for 4 mana, and you have a red available, you tap it, or whatever, let's say it taps for Sans red, you need the red, you tap a land for a red. You can tutor up the Derevi. Derevi will untap it. So yeah, you can then go and get Deadpool, and then the Deadpool will take the text box of Derevi, and then you untap your Bloom Tender again. You can activate it, go and get your Tyvar. If it's your turn, you can untap the Bloom Tender, go and get Marvin, go and get Irith, Sakashima, make a clone, the Sakashima Clone on Marvin. Then you can use the Irith to untap the Sakashima and the Marvin, and then Marvin untaps Irith and Sakashima. Basically, present a loop where you untap infinite mana. That's the easiest way. Savala is super unique in the way that it makes mana equal to the biggest power. The more legends you have, the bigger Sisay gets. Really easy to make mana that way. And then same for Faber Elder with the Bloom Tender loop. It's pretty cool. There's Isaka, God of the Tree, where all your legends tap for mana. It just removes the dork out of the way. It now becomes the mana dork itself. And what you can do is you can tap a legendary permanent. Usually it's a Seeker. You can get Marvin and then Irith. Same type of loop. Irith will untap your Seeker and your Marvin. You tap a Seeker for a mana. Use Marvin to untap the Irith and the Seeker again. And then again, you net 1 mana every time. You make infinite mana that way, which is pretty cool. Instead of a Seeker, I'm pretty sure you can just have Relic of Legends. So let's say you have Sisay, Marvin, and Irith. You can have a Relic of Legends and do the same thing, which I think is really cool. Relic of Legends is such a broken card in this deck just because we have so many legends. A super new card to this deck that I still am umming about is Tam, Mindful First. Yeah, each other creature you control has hexproof from each of its colors, so it has protection from green and blue, sorry. Sisay has protection from white spells. That's kind of how that works. And then it has an activated ability, tap target creature you control, becomes all colors until end of turn. So basically, if you have a Bloom Tender, Faber Elder, Savala out on the battlefield, and a Tam, you tap Tam, give the Savala 5 colors. Sisay is now a 7/7, Bloom Tender now taps for 5. It's pretty sick. Really fun tech. And it's also just a protection piece. Again, super toolboxy, semi-combo piece, protection spell, pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Is there kind of, I guess talking about untapping Guy's Cradle with the Revi as like probably.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess also
I see that loop all the time. Like Agatha's Soul Cauldron and Guy's Cradle.
So Agatha's Soul Cauldron, 2 mana artifact. You can spend mana as though it was any color to activate activated abilities of creatures. So if you have Guy's Cradle and 5 creatures out, you go and get a Derevi and untap the Guy's Cradle. You'll now go to 6. And basically, you kind of just like mana ladder your way up. Every time you get a new creature, Guy's Cradle taps for enough to go to tutor. You get a meal, and then you use the meal when you have 3 available green mana to bounce the Derevi. It's pretty sick. You make infinite green, and then you basically have any way to win the game you want. Usually I go and get like a Savala and a Nurtai, and I represent infinite colored mana, and then I kill them with Mount Doom, just because I have the rest of the win conditions on the battlefield. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about the funnest way to win with this deck, which is like a dream win. It will never happen just because I don't play the land. But if you have Deadpool on the battlefield, infinite mana, and you have the good old land of... So with Forbidden Orchard on the battlefield, and you can have like a meal and Derevi and Deadpool, you can give your opponents infinite 1/1 spirit tokens, and then you can use the Deadpool to replace the text box of every single spirit. Past the turn in their upkeep, they have 1,000,000 triggers for you lose 3 life. So So basically the setup is you need Teferi on the battlefield, Deadpool, Emil, and Derevi. You have infinite mana, and you can give basically every person 1 billion spirit tokens, and then you swap the text box with Deadpool. You pass the turn, they can't cast anything at instant speed thanks to Teferi, and they lose the game because they lose 1 billion life, which is kind of unique. For some reason they have the One Ring protection, which they won't, but they have some type of protection that like they can't lose the game. Angel's Grace, that type of effect, they can't cast it. So that's like, I guess, super important. Yeah. I guess also like I am playing Skrelv at the moment, so like if I can give, like if my creatures don't have summoning sickness, I can blink Skrelv over and over again after paying a white to give them unblockable Toxic 10 and attack each player, which is like something. Plus it's a protection spell for Sisay, plus it's a 1 mana legend. That's kind of unique. Same kind of thing with Orcish Bowmaster. I can use Kennen after I generate infinite mana, go get Kennen, activate Kennen to put Orcish Bowmaster into play. Orcish Bowmaster will deal a damage. I'll bounce the Orcish Bowmaster with Emil, and I'll do that repeatedly, killing out the table, which is like a way to do it. There's also a really fun way to get through the One Ring, which I really like. You have Deadpool and Orcish Bowmaster on the battlefield. Infinite mana, you bounce the Orcish Bowmaster to make a token. You then bounce the Deadpool to swap text boxes with using the Emil ability. And you then pay the 3 life to make your opponent's draw a card. And you can do this over and over again to basically draw out your opponents. You just have to make sure that you have Teferi on the battlefield, which, I apologize, this is the art I use. It is your opponents can only cast spells at sorcery speed. So basically, if they have some type of remove spell or a counter spell or something to try and stop you, they can't cast it. The only thing they really have is Adawara that you could use, but again, you can just go over the top because it's all activated abilities. It's why Sisay is so good, because you can win whenever you want. You can also, like, really weirdly use Tataru to draw your whole deck if you need to, because you just, like, get Teferi, bounce the Tataru, draw your entire deck, which I'm not playing Thassa's Oracle, but you can just do that with Thassa's Oracle. There's a huge list of ways to win with Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, there's lots of ways to draw your deck, which is super sick.
I kind of, yeah, also just like, do you want to mention, it was kind of a way to win the game, or way to accumulate enough to win the game, but you don't run it anymore, of like Chatterfang and Warren Soul Trader?
Oh, yeah,
about that?
Absolutely. That was one of my fun combos to play in this deck for sure. Warren Soul Trader, Chatterfang, and then obviously I had, where is he? I don't know if he's even in this. I'm gonna throw him on screen. I'm gonna throw him on screen. Cabal, the Maya guy, he has the effect of whenever a token leaves the battlefield, everyone loses a life and you gain. Sorry, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. So it's that kind of like aristocrats effect that's on the battlefield. The upside is it's tutorable with Sisay, so I don't need it on the battlefield. So is Chatterfang. The one downside is when you draw the Chatterfang, but not the Warren Soul Trader. But at the time, I was playing Nature's Rhythm, which is just a 1-card win con in the deck, which is super sick. I guess also newly added piece of tech that I have not yet used or cast or even thought about playing is Ashiok Dream Render. It's a sorcery speed win, which is like okay, but you basically blink the Ashiok, activate its ability. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, exile each opponent's graveyard. So basically what you do is you infinitely bounce this and -1 it. Every opponent mills their library or exiles their library. You can either just pass the turn with the Teferi out and they just lose the game, which is super sick.
Yeah, I just mentioned on that one, with everyone having an empty library, you just cast Deadpool or resolve a Deadpool, don't have it enter, change it in the text box, and then sacrifice it and force everyone to deck themselves.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. You can also just do it that way as well. That is something that I didn't even really consider. Yeah, it's like a fairy mastermind.
That's a Dago Rayhan tech for you. Is milling people out and casting Deadpool and making them draw an empty library.
Yeah, that's actually so good. I didn't even think about it because it's like a fairy mastermind after you like mill everyone with Brain Freeze. So that's so good.
And then do you just want to jump into kind of just like the other creatures of the deck, kind of like your mana creators, or like the dorks that you run? So like all the creatures that aren't combo pieces, pretty much. If you want to jump into them.
Yeah, absolutely. Birds of Paradise. Don't need to explain it too much. It's a 1 mana. It's a green for 1 mana. It's pretty good. Deathrite Shaman is also a win condition that I completely forgot about that I've never used. But basically, if you have enough, you can mill everyone out. You can pay a black tap, exile target instant or sorcery. Each opponent loses 2 life, which is a way around the run wing, which is pretty cool. Delighted Halfling. I wasn't on Delighted Halfling for a hot minute, and I felt like it was the wrong choice. Being able to cast the Derevi or the Deadpool that's in my hand uncounterable seems super important, especially in the late game when I need or Kutzel, right? We're playing Kutzel if I need to cast a Savala. Basically, it's a good card, and I don't think...
Or Sisay, an uncounterable
Oh,
Sisay
sure, yeah.
In the game's good.
Yeah, 100%.
I think when you're on so many legends, it's so good.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. There has been some times where I have 4 lands and a Delighted Halfling out, and everyone's like, you have an activation. I'm like, no, I don't. Delighted Halfling only taps for mana for legendaries. Esper Sentinel, just like a standard. I'm in the white. I play this card. This is what? I would say it's probably the most played card in Magic, maybe.
Probably one of them. Yeah. Every deck that has white in it pretty much plays it no matter what.
Noble Hierarch, Ignoble Hierarch, and then I have Noble Hierarch, both just you 5-color mana makers. Ragavan. Man, this card's like is good. Don't get me wrong, this card is good, but the way that we have so many creature decks in our particular format, after like turn 2, it's really hard to get in with this thing. So it's like it's a red mana legendary creature with no text box sometimes, but it's still good. Red is one of the hardest colors for me to make in this deck, so having it is important. I'm currently playing Skrelv as a replacement for Washitong. Sometimes that card feels good, sometimes that card feels bad. It's really hard to get 2 blue pips sometimes when like I have to get like Savannah and then like I have an Underground Sea, but then I also need Volcanic Island for the red. So I'm trying this out. It's kind of just because it's a 1 mana legend, but also gives my stuff hexproof, which is like not nothing, especially with how much Sisay is a threat at my store. I can never resolve this thing, and if it's on the battlefield for more than 4 seconds, it's a frog by the end step. So yeah. A new piece that I'm retrying is Basum. It's a 2 mana legendary creature, which is like it's blue black, so it makes Sisay a 4/4 with just this on the battlefield. And whenever you cast a heroic spell, you draw a card, which is like really good. Heroic spells are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. I'm playing a bunch of those. I get to draw a card every turn, which is pretty great. But also something that hasn't come up yet, but kind of is also an additional benefit is whenever you do cast a heroic spell, Basum can't be blocked this turn, so it kind of helps if I need a extra damage with Derevi, which is super unique. And also, like, whenever Basum deals combat damage, you put a 1/1 counter on him. I don't think that's important, but it is there if I need it. Flash Thompson, it's a semi-replacement for Derevi in a way that if I do have Bloom Tender or Savala or something like that on the battlefield and I need to untap it, I can flash this thing and untap it. I wasn't playing this because I did not read the fact that Flash has Flash. You would hope that Flash would have Flash because Flash is Flash. You sent me it, right? You sent me a photo of Flash for something, and I went, this thing has Flash?
Yeah, I think I talked to you about it when it first came out, and you're like, nah, that card's not playable. And then it was like 2 months later, and you messaged me, like, oh my god, Flash Thompson's the best card in the like, best card in the deck, it has Flash. What the hell? Why didn't I read the card? And I was like, yeah, like, I know, like, I told you it was a good card.
So yeah, it's got this like super unique thing where you can flash it in and untap something more of like a cantrip effect. I've also just flashed it in on an end step when I have Enduring Vitality out, which again is also just another Relic of Legends to a certain degree. This card is absolutely disgusting. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Kennen,
I want to jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
On one more thing about Flash was just like the random combo I thought of that one time with Badger Mole Cub animating a land, and it can also just like replace the Revi, like if you make like Gaia's Cradle a land in the Agatha's Soul Cauldron loop. I don't know if that would ever come up because you're not on Badger Mole Cub, but it's just funny.
I have considered Badger Mole Cub, and again, reading the book, they talk about it, but I just feel like I'm jumping through so many hoops to get to where that deck is. I do think it's a very playable line. I think it's very, very good in the 2-color Sisay. Where the like green white, the Selesnya one. I think it's way better there. I also feel like it's hard to find playable movable slots because to be fair, it would also probably be $400 more. I don't even have Badger Mole Cub in this list. Who am I? Badger Mole Cub is not a legendary.
Yeah.
If Badger Mole Cub was a legendary, 100% instant. Like I'd throw it in. But also, I am playing Green Sun Zenith. I am considering playing Court of Calling and Finale of Devastation. So, like, they are easy tutorable cards to go get. But, again, it's definitely a fun combo that I do consider thinking about all the time. 1000%.
Yeah, for sure.
Kennen, Bond of Prodigy. This card is cooked. No surprise. If you've seen our mid-range video, you know exactly what we're talking about. I didn't, you know what? I've known this for a long time, but until I did it on Monday, I didn't really think about it. If you get Deadpool and swap the text box of someone else's Kennen because it's super popular, everything taps for 3 mana.
Yeah.
I had a Chrome Mox that tapped for 3 red, and I went, this is great. This is broken.
Yeah, I think. Oh well, this is probably not super related, but discovering that it is a trigger. It doesn't use the stack, but it's a trigger to add, so it works with Delny as well.
Oh
If you crack a
yeah.
treasure with Delny and Killen on the board, it taps for 3 mana, which is really funny.
Yeah, that's super busted. It's just a shame that there's not a lot of great Dolny Kennen type colored combination decks, right? Like unless you're playing like
Yeah, it's like
Thrasios
a Yoshi
Tuna.
Thrash.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
it's like
even know
Yoshi
if
Thrash on it.
are you playing Dolny and Yoshi Thrash though? I don't know, maybe.
Hell yeah, bro. Double trigger my Cloud Fairies untap. Bro,
Oh,
it's
dude,
crack.
I'm gonna add Dolny to my list. That sounds actually cooked. That sounds really good, actually. Yeah. Um, I have spent a lot of mana on Kennen's activated ability. The problem is I'm playing a large chunk of humans. But like 5 mana, oh sorry, 7 mana to put like Faber Elder into play seems pretty busted. Or like Urtai. Oh no, you can't do Urtai. Yeah, I'm playing so many humans. It's like I know Cannon's there for the double mana, but like trying to hit like I don't know how does it tell me? Where's the like tells you the creature types?
I don't think that's the thing.
It must be an Architect does it. Oh well. But yeah, Cannon's really busted. Being able to crack treasures for double. If you have 5 treasures, you have 2 activations, which is known to win me the game sometimes. Talking of treasures, Lotho, the Corrupt Sheriff, has to be also one of the sleeper cards in this deck. Whenever someone casts their second spell, you make a treasure and lose a life. I don't use my life total, so take my 39 life and give me 39 treasures. I'm sure as shit gonna win the game before I die. Orcish Bowmaster, we kind of already covered this, but yeah, it's like really great in this like Ristic Study meta where everyone's drawing cards, you flash this thing in, deals a bunch of damage. It's also really great because it's 2 bodies for Enduring Vitality, which again, this card is just broken beyond
And it's
belief.
just like in creature matters, it's so good. Just like absolutely cook the cannon board. I'm gonna shoot all his dorks. I'm gonna shoot the cannon. Yeah, the card is so good, and I love having it every time I play at the store.
Yeah. You had like a 44 Bowmaster or
Yeah,
some
so I had
shit?
a 28 bowmaster, and then that died, and then I reanimated the bowmaster and got it up to 48 again in the one game.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely insane, dude.
absolutely ridiculous.
Um, Moving on to possibly a card that is super glued to this deck and I will never replace, but I see some pilots not playing and I think it's crazy. This is Ruby, Daring Tracker. It's a green and a red. For a legendary creature, human something, I'm pretty sure, maybe just a human, has haste, taps for a green or a red. The other text that Ruby has is not very important, but if you have a creature with power 4 higher, she gets +2/+2 whenever it attacks, which is great. 2 mana, legendary, haste, makes green red. Green red isn't the hardest colors to make. Usually I'm struggling to find the black, but this card is so good. I love this card to death.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that it gives a red pip to Sisay, which is like super like important.
Mhm.
Because yeah, you're on 3 creatures that give a red pip with Ragavan, Ruby, and Deadpool. And like you're very rarely gonna have Deadpool just like sitting on the board until you're tutoring it. Like so it's like pretty much one of 2 ways to make Sisay big enough.
Yeah, I've definitely considered hard casting Deadpool more and just like taking stuff off the battlefield for my own advantage. Like, well, yeah, sometimes it feels bad for sure, and then it gets cloned and then it's a whole problem. Spider Woman, Stunning Savior. This was a card that I originally like flew past when I was looking at the set review, and then I wasn't sure if it was you and I talking, or maybe I saw it on like online where people were like, "This is a Sisay card for certain players," and it really is. So what it is, it's a legendary creature, and it's got that hybrid like Obzorius, so either white or blue. And then it's a 2/2 flyer, same thing as the Bassam. It's a flying creature, so it has that evasion to work with Derevi if I need it to, which has come up. I have used it a couple of times to like untap a guy's cradle if I need to or whatever. But most importantly, it has artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. This is huge in a very heavy turbo stacks meta, turbo meta, or even if you have a creature meta. I used it all the time on Tim when he's Grim Monolith and Manifold enter tapped. Someone's Soul Ring on Monday enter tap, so they couldn't micro spawn my guy's cradle, which was huge because I just won on my turn. So yeah, super important. I was talking to some of the Discord members in the Sisay Discord, and they said that this is the replacement for Lavinia. because I was really and ahhing about putting that card in because I think it's really powerful. But I was like, why would I not play this over that? So that's the great example of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this card is like sleeper really, really good. It's very annoying to like have your mana vaults come in tapped if you're planning on like a turn to Atali with a mana vault getting cast on turn 2 or something like that. It's really good. Or like it cooks a dual caster mage lines, which funnily enough, because like they will come in tapped.
Yeah, for
Card's
sure.
good.
Yeah, I could again. This was one of these cards that I like slept on, and then realized that this is actually really good. We've already kind of talked about Tam, really good card that I'm still and ahhing about, but it's also that hybrid Simic. So realistically, it's a generic, it's like a Soul Ring mana and a blue pip or a green pip, so it's like kind of cheaper. In my mind, it's cheaper. Okay, in my mind, it's cheaper. But
Well,
yeah,
it's always easier to cast something that's colorless and a pip versus 2 pips.
for
Like,
sure.
unless, because if you don't have the like blue and green, you have red and blue, you can still cast Tam. Like,
Tara is a menace. This little thing, don't let it fool you. This card's busted. I really, really like Tara. This card makes me so many treasures. It's actually ridiculous. I make so many treasures with this card. When it enters, your opponent's always drawing that card. I've never had them go, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm not drawing that card.
Yeah.
And then again, Rhystic Study meta. We play a lot of like Thrasios decks, so like I am always making treasures. I think I untapped one game with like making a treasure on each person's turn, which is like just crazy. Enduring Vitality, such a busted card, bro. There's no reason that this card needed so much text. The fact that when it dies, it comes back as an enchantment is cooked. But like I said earlier, it replaces the Relic of Legends if you have like again a Sisay, a Marvin, and a Irith on the battlefield, or any other creature. It doesn't have to be Sisay. If Sisay dies, but you have Enduring Vitality on the battlefield, you can kind of still do the same loop. No, it needs to be a legendary, but because you need the Irith on top of it. But it's still cool. Still a really cool deck card. We have Faber Elder, kind of covered it again. Really, just a really nice card that allows you to kind of just put wins together. I bought a Russian foil, really sick. I'll put it on screen. Kutzel, I took this out of the deck for a hot minute because you won with Kutzel more than I ever won with Kutzel, so I just took a card out of the deck.
Yeah, I'm still like 8-0 on flipping Kutzel when I'm playing Atali, and I've won like every single game that I've had the silence effect. It's so good.
Fun fact, giving the Italia silence effect is pretty good, pretty darn good. But yeah, this card I took out, I put it back in. It's a creature, so I can use Enduring Vitality, and it's a legendary, so I can use a Seeker to tap it. Usually, I like to get it over to Teferi if I do have some type of tap effect out, because it's 1 more mana, and it does the same kind of thing Teferi does. Cabbage Merchant, card's busted. It's not... I want to say it's really busted. I don't have it in play long enough to really to fully experience this card. One game that I played, I made 56 food, sorry, and I didn't have a Sisay, so it just kind of like sat there with no mana. But again, you just tap, you make 4 food, you make 2 mana, might win you the game. So and it's a legendary, so like why not? It's great.
Yeah, no, Cabbage Man is ridiculous. This card is broken. And people need to respect it and stop feeding it 20 foods and going, oh, like it needs 2 foods per mana. And it's like, cool, they untap with 20 foods and make 10 mana and they cast every spell in their hand and they win the game. People need to respect this more. And crazy that an Atali player is saying that people need to respect this more.
No, I completely agree. I think that this card needs to have the same type of fear when there's a Mystic Remora out on the battlefield where you kind of be like, hey, let's not feed this, which no one does, but I like to pretend that people do. Emil the Blessed, pretty card. Pretty good card. Pretty card and pretty good card. Urtai, the Resurrected. I need to take a quick minute to apologize to a couple of people who said you should play this, and then I told them, no, this card sucks. It's super glued into this deck. This deck is busted. This card's broken. This card is so darn good. It's a counter spell. It's a removal spell. It's a win condition. 4 mana is the one downside because I need Sisay to be a 5/5. But with that all being said, still such a good card.
Yeah, I remember talking about it and I go, like, are you playing Urtai? And you're like, no. I'm like, why not? Like, this card's good. Like, And you're like, nah.
No.
And then I think over the next 3 weeks, while you were like, I'm Minangari, or like you ordered it and it still hadn't come, there was about 17 different games where you're like, man, Ertai would be really good right now.
Bro. The nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin was when I was playing with Loot, and it just had to get back to my turn, and Doot was passing the turn, and the Thrasios Timna player that we were playing with put a Born Upon the Wind on the stack and one with Tharsis Oracle, and if I had Ertai, I could have just blown up his darn like Tharsis Oracle and would have drawn a card from his empty library, and I would have won the game. So such a good card, such an incredible card. Sakashima the Imposter. This card is such a powerful card in itself. So you may have Sakashima the Imposter enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except its name is Sakashima. It's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has pay 2 and blue, return this creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So if your Sisay, for whatever reason, gets stolen, turn into a frog, 1,000 other things, like in that type of arena, you can cast Sakashima the Imposter, and now it's a Sakashima the Imposter Sisay, right? Same type of effect with Deadpool as well. They both do the same thing. The thing with these two cards is that they're also very available options for win conditions. Let's say that you need to, let's say someone's taking your Bloom Tender, Deadpool or Sakashima. Now you have the card, which is really good. Yeah, and it's a legendary, so you can use Relic of Legends and Enduring Vitality and stuff like that to tap it. I played in a tournament recently where I cloned a Tataru, and it was like really busted. 4 mana for a Tataru felt bad at the start, but it was actually really good because I got a Relic of Legends, so now it's a Tataru that makes me mana, and if I need to, I can put it back to my hand and clone something else. So like, so many utility pieces for this card. If you need an extra mana dork, you can play it in. You need a Derevi, you can clone it. It's so broken. This card's so good.
Yeah, 100%. It's, yeah. I also am on the propaganda of run more clones. Everyone should run more clones. Put clones in your deck.
Yeah, everyone said that we weren't in the clone
Let me
meta,
flip
but
them.
here we are. Oh yeah, you're an Atali player. Of course you want more clones.
And then
Moving on to another card that I always want to take out of my deck, but it never seems to leave the deck. This is Colossal Sky Turtle. Doesn't matter about its CMC. It doesn't matter what it is. Basically, all we care about is its channel abilities. You can pay 2 and agree to discard it to return target card from your graveyard to your hand. If you need a Bloom Tender, or you need your Derevi, or whatever it is, a counter spell. Let's say that someone's putting a Winner's Stack and you've run out of counter spells. You can put one back to your hand with this card. Or you can pay 1 and a blue, discard Colossal Sky Turtle, return target creature to its owner's hand. This deck very much is scared of Opposition Agent. I'll get down as we go down. You'll understand why I play the interaction package that I do. But this returns the Opposition Agent back to their hand. This gets rid of the stacks piece that gets, there's a wide variety, mainly the Opposition Agent, mainly stacks pieces. If someone kills something, I can get it back. It's pretty good.
You're only on 2 sorceries, and they're both tutors?
Yeah. I definitely am playing 1 to 2 sorceries here or there. This deck basically runs no tutors because Sisay is the tutor, pretty much. I'm playing Green Sun Zenith as it is pretty heavily green, as you've seen. Getting a 3 mana, getting a 4 mana Enduring Vitality, 4 mana Cabbage Merchant, 4 mana Savala, getting a 3 mana Tam. There's so many powerful creatures. The fact that this thing shuffles back into my library, I think, is broken. But yeah, this card's really good. If I have, let's say I have two mana, like let's say I have a land Mox Diamond, I can use this to go and get a Birds of Paradise, so I have 3 mana on my turn to cast Sisay. There's so many usabilities, so many things you can do with this card. I think it's really sick. And again, Demonic Tutor, there's no reason for me not to play this card. I don't think that you would want to leave the house if you have the availability to play Demonic Tutor in your deck. Just it's like one of the best tutors in the game.
Yeah. It's the best rate for the best that effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than Gamble, but Gamble's a 1 mana and 2. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm not playing that game. I guess if I really wanted to, some spicy tech is that I could like gamble for a Fair Beholder or some type of tap effect and go and get Agatha Soul like you have Agatha Soul Cauldron on the battlefield, eat the thing and win that way, which is like something you could do.
Yeah.
But
You're just like not that delusional to play gamble Agatha Soul Cauldron
no,
on the battlefield.
no. I do have a heap in my sideboard. Like I said earlier, I was playing Nature's Rhythm. I think Nature's Rhythm is just a really broken card. I just like it's really hard for me to justify paying the cost of this Nature's Rhythm where it's like 5 for a Derevi. I can just pay 5 treasures and go and get a Derevi. Or I can like I'm taking something good. I'm taking something that's possibly good out to put something that is also possibly good in. And I'm just like I can always just play the tutor thing, follow that game plan. So
Just like to jump in, kind of a thought about Nature's Rhythm is like we'll talk about it later. Kind of the downside of the deck being so commander focused. Maybe something like Nature's Rhythm that can get any card is just like a backup Sisay plan without the Sisay. For like if you have all this mana, like you had with the Cabbage Merchant, you have a Nature's Rhythm in the hand, you win the game. But like people aren't gonna like let you have the Sisay, but maybe they don't have anything for the Nature's Rhythm. I think it's like maybe good to be on like a win con outside of Sisay.
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. This sideboard, or whatever we want to call it, is a little out of date. I definitely think I want to play maybe Voice of Victory, maybe play Thassa's Oracle, put all that stuff back in. I am trialing some certain stuff. There possibly will be a new list to this. I'll leave this list in the description. Check out my Mox field. All the lists are there. They're in a folder. But no, I completely agree with you. The one downside, and we'll get to it a little bit more later on, is that the inability to win without Sisay on the battlefield.
I kind of want to jump into your interaction package now.
Absolutely.
Kind of talk about, what you have.
I'll start off by saying that this interaction package does 2 things. Well, I guess 3 things. It has protection. It has like protection for Sisay. It has interaction for stopping my opponents from casting spells, I guess, but also it has a lot of removal and silence effects, I guess, as well. The store is very, very interested in killing Sisay, which I don't think is a good idea. I think it's a waste of your time.
It's 100% the right idea all the time, every time.
I think
Shoot it, kill it on sight. Don't let him. Don't let him yap. Kill it on sight.
I feel like every time that Sisay's on the battlefield, the person who's killed Sisay loses the game.
Could be dead.
No, I think
No,
I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm looking at you right now. Every time Sisay's not on the board, you lose the game with me. So just leave her alone. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah, let's jump into the interaction package here. Pact of Negation. We like draws. We don't like draws. Draws suck. But it's a free counter spell. Protect my Sisay or protect my spells if I need to. Enlightened Tutor goes and gets Smothering Tithe. Goes and gets me Agatha Soul Cauldron. Goes and gets me Relic of Legends. Goes and gets me a Mana Vault. Cast the Smothering Tithe. This card's really good. There's no reason not to play it. Flusterstorm, same as before. It's 1 mana. Flusterstorm, Storm, good. Into the Floodmaw. It's a mixture between stopping an opposition agent, but it's also in the deck because it also hits everything. It's a bounce spell. There's a Wheel of Fortune on the stack, and I got to get rid of a Smothering Tithe. Got to get rid of a Ristic Study. I got to, let's say my Sisay gets turned into a Frog by Amphibian Downpour. As long as it's not the enchantment copy, I just usually bounce it because it fizzles, like it just disappears because it's a token. Tokens still go back to hand. Probably one of the most beyond broken cards in this deck by a far mile is Legolas's Quick Reflexes. This card, it makes sense why this card's $50 or whatever, or even more now actually. Has Split Second, untap target creature. They could have just stopped there, to be honest. I still would have played it. Until end of turn, it gains Hexproof, Reach, and whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals damage equal to its power up to 1 target creature. If it's not obvious enough, if you have 2 green available and you tap your Savala and someone casts an opposition agent, you can cast Legolas's Quick Reflexes. It has Split Second, so no one can interact. You untap your Savala, you're basically off to the races again at instant speed. Pretty darn good, to be honest. Mental Misstep, there's no need to talk about this one too much. It's a free counterspell, it hits all the 1-drops and stuff, which is great. Most recent inclusion, I think, of interaction is Orm's Chart. This card's cooked. There was a time where we were playing a large group of Atalis and a large group of Turbo players, and I just thought having an extra silence would be great, so I put it in there. It's not failed me. It's also really great if I'm playing against certain players that, like, let's say there's 2 Turbo decks and there's another blue player. I can silence the blue player and go for a win, which is great. me. I've also been threatened to be killed with an 11/11 Infect Trample Latali. Being able to pay
Whoa.
double white. Being able to play double white to not be attacked by an Atali feels pretty good too.
Yeah, silence effects suck and they should be banned because they're very hard to deal with in red.
Yeah.
As I cannot pyroblast the silence.
Redirect Lightning. I don't think this card's coming out of the deck, to be honest. I don't see a lot of Sisay parts playing it. I don't know why. Again, it's one red. It's one red mana. It's an instant speed spell. As an additional cost, you either pay 2 generic or you pay 5 life. Again, I don't give a damn about my life total, so I pay the 5 life. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Yeah, it's a deflecting swat. Most of the time, I'm redirecting something that is targeting Sisay. It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, no, this card sucks. It stopped me from beating you 2 games in a row the other week because I put a turn 2 win on the stack, it got redirected, and then I put a turn 2 win on the stack in game 2 and it got redirected, and yeah, card sucks, and stop interacting with me, Jack.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because like I don't want to play some of these cards. Want is a strong word. Like in Into the Floodmaw, sometimes I'm like, why am I playing this card? Same with Redirect Lightning. Sometimes I'm like, why am I playing this card? But then I go, it's not an awful option to play because it's a toolbox card. I can bounce certain things. I can redirect certain things. They're good cards. Colossal Star Turtle. Again, I consider taking that out all the time, but again, it just stays in because it's a good card. Silence, I don't need to go into too much depth about this. I think Riley's made it very clear how good silence is. Again, this comes back to that playing the Thassa's Oracle and the Voice of Victory and going more about playing more unique cards. Can cast a silence. If it resolves, sick, you basically win the game. If it doesn't, I have backup plans. I can win at instant speed somewhere other time. I do like getting to the Fairy or the Cutsor more than casting a silence for me to win. Usually I'm using silence more against turbo players and stuff like that, just because, again, silence is a busted card. 1 mana spell to stop you from doing what you want to do. It's pretty good. Swan Song, good counter spell. Vampiric Tutor, another tutor that I play just because it's the best rate for the best spell. On end step, go and get whatever I need, put it on top and draw it for turns. Pretty darn good. Abrupt Decay, I will not be taking this out of my deck. This is the opposition agent killer. It can't be countered, and you destroy opposition agent. Plus, all of our other spells are very low CMC. You can hit a cannon if you need to. I've done it on someone's Nissa before. I've used it for... You can kill a Timnar. There's so many great uses, and it's a non-land permanent. It's not a creature. You can hit, Rhystic Study if you need to. So good. One of the most on thin ice cards in my deck is Cyclonic Rift. This card's good. I'm not going to say it's a bad card. It's just, it feels bad to overload it because if I have 7 mana, I'll just win the game instead, is kind of the way that I look at this overload effect. Usually what I'm doing is I'm just using it for a 2 mana bounce. Again, Amphibian Downpour. I need to get my Sisay back. I need to remove something. There was a wheel on the stack at some point. I put someone's commander back in their hand. They couldn't cast their commander the next turn because they used like a mana vault to cast it, so that felt pretty great. There's a wide variety of reasons why this card stays in, but it's also on thin ice because I'm like, if I need a card slot and I don't have any other space, the card comes out straight away.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I don't know, I've cut it from quite a few of the decks that I play that if they have blue, I'm cutting it because for 7 mana is so much. But 7 mana is ridiculous, and I think there's just better 1 mana bounce spells now that you just play over it.
Yeah, I think
And
you're right.
if it's the Kinnan, cool. They replay all their rocks instantly and have 300 mana on their turn anyway, and it doesn't affect them at all. And especially it's not really a thing anymore. But the semi-blue decks, it's cool. They just replay everything anyway, and they're just in the same spot. So bouncing their stuff doesn't actually matter as much as you think it would put people behind.
Yeah, deflecting swat, same reasons as redirect lining. You just bounce, redirect it for whatever you need to. Sometimes someone might try and redirect a Derevi trigger. I can just in response redirect it back. It's happened more than you think. Keep an eye out for monocolored decks that don't play interaction. They'll have it, I tell you.
The amount of times I've saved a game playing Atali is ridiculous. The random Force of Vigor to win a game, or D-SWAT, or Nature's Claim, or something, and no one ever expects it. Everyone's like fully tapped out. There's been 17 counter spells, and I'm like, oh yeah, go. I'll use my deflecting swap. And everyone's like, what?
Man, tell you what, those players, they'll have the interaction when they don't need it. Amount of times Douglas has gone, cool, redirect your Derevi trigger. Every time. It's annoying. No one else likes counter spells but the mono red players. I guess you're Gruul, but moving on to probably my favorite card in the instance and sorcery slot, probably like top 5 favorite cards in the deck. This is Dismember. It is 1 black, one and then 2 Phyrexian mana or whatever. Target creature gets -5 to -5 until end of turn. Same kind of thing as Abrupt Decay. This is basically going in an opposition agent faster than anyone can count to 3. I just feel like maybe I take out Psychonic Rift for Swords to Plowshares. That sounds like a really good choice, actually. But Dismember it's -1, -5. So for whatever reason, they can give it indestructible. Doesn't matter. Hits pretty much every single creature in the format. Hit a Seaborn Muse. Hit Swordborn Muse like last week twice. Like, it's just cooked. This card's incredible. I have no notes. This card's good.
Yeah, the card's good, and also just like really easy to cast. It costs a colorless to cast, which is like the best rate for a removal spell. Really, 1 colorless to remove something off the board is ridiculous. Like all these like snapback, I guess, is like better because it's free, but you have to pitch something. But like, yeah, this card is like extremely easy to cast.
Yeah, no, I think you made a fantastic point about the generic versus. I mean, I'm in a 5-color deck. Sometimes I might not have a white for Swords to Plowshare, but I do have this red that I didn't use, right? So completely agree with you there. The significant difference between a colorless or a generic mana versus a pipped is crazy. And then we just have our free counter spells: Fierce Guardianship, Mindbreak Trap, and Force of Will. Just why would I not play these cards? They're free. They're really good. I'm playing my commander. I need to still cast my commander. I have lost 2 or 3 games just because I go, nah, not casting my commander. It's going to get bounced or removed. But then a stack breaks out and I have both Force of Will and Fierce Guardianship and Deflecting Swap in my hand. I can't cast either of them. So there is better pros and cons, but still just busted cards. They're free, so we love them.
Yeah, I feel like, jumping into the artifacts, I feel like everything's just like pretty self-explanatory. Everything makes mana, and then you have Agatha's Soul Cauldron and like Relic Legends, which like not every deck plays Relic Legends, but that card's ridiculously good because you're on 30 legends. Like, it's gonna make 5 mana.
Yeah, this Relic of Legends changes the game significantly. I'm not playing the Grand at the moment, but there's a super unique line or super unique setup where you have Grand, Relic of Legends, and like Agatha Soul Cauldron, where you can kind of just loot through your deck. You can do it as well, kind of infinitely with Relic of Legends if the Grand Summoning Sickness. There's a wide variety of loops with Grand, a bunch of unique interactions and pieces, but the idea is that you tap Grand with the Relic, and then you can discard a Savala or some type of mana dork, and then you can eat it with Agatha Soul Cauldron, which is super, super cool. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Very generic, very unique. Probably the only 2 significant different cards is Agatha Soul Cauldron and Relic of Legends. I'm not on the Mox Opal train. I think if you need 16 artifacts before you even consider Mox Opal. I'm playing 11. The amount of times I go, cool, I have Mox Opal, and then that's the only artifact I draw for the rest of the game. So
The Sisay lists that do run it kind of run the argument of like, I'm on Tithe, I'm on Tadaru, and also like on Magda. So they're on these treasure creators that like are gonna turn Mopal on quite easily. But yeah, it's like being on 10 artifacts, Mopal sucks.
completely agree with you that there are some crazy benefits through treasure creation and stuff like that. But I think I just don't want to risk it, especially like if I'm going into a top 16 or a top 4 and my 5 is like 2 lands, Mox Opal, and like 2 non-artifact cards. I'm like, cool, this Mox Opal, so I mulled the 4. Basically. So yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Do you want to jump into your enchantments, which I feel like you have? I mean, like, yeah, if you want to jump into the first ones of just like, you have Mystic Remore, you have Ristic Study, you have Smothering Tithe. Those 3 are ridiculously good, especially Smothering Tithe in the deck. Everyone, kill it. Don't let it resolve. He is 20-0 on it. That card is ridiculous. Counter it, commandeer it, rip it up in half, give it flying, throw it across the room. I don't care. Eat it. say Judgy has 99 cards, he doesn't have the Smothering Tithe in his deck. Like, whatever you can, do not let it resolve. I don't know, whatever he tries to tell you. Oh no, it's a value piece. Don't listen to him. I don't know what to tell you.
I think that Smothering Tithe is a really good card. That isn't.
It is.
It isn't that good. I don't think it's that great. Just pay the 2. Just pay the 2. You're good. It's 4 mana. That's so expensive in cEDH.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, look, I think you've summed up Smothering Tithe pretty good for all of us here. This card is basically if I could go in with you, I could win. You could win the game with just Sisay and Smothering Tithe, pretty much. He's not lying. I've tracked it ever since I started tracking. I don't think I've lost a game with this thing on the battlefield, to be honest. It makes treasures. It makes mana. It's basically his Sisay activations. Dude. I got no other. I can't even justify it, right? Like, it's hard to sit in this Discord and be like, oh, actually, no, it's not happening. This guy's too good. But yeah, that's Smothering Tithe for you. I'm playing Deafening Silence. I don't know if I'm high on power. This card has felt absolutely disgusting. The ability for 1 mana to stop my opponents. It's usually pretty good. The only thing you got to keep out for is that it is non-creature. So if you're playing against 3 Thrasios decks, it's pretty bad. But yeah, it's stopped a lot of players from winning the games, and I don't care about casting spells when I go off, so it's pretty good. It's also just like this super thing where no one wants to cast anything, because if they cast it and someone has a counter spell, that just gets countered. So they keep cards in their hand. And I'll play Bird's Paradise. I don't care. I'll play Taro Taro. I don't care. It's really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. And it also just slows the table down enough where you can just accumulate heaps of value and then win the game whenever you want. Like, you can, slow the table down, play all your dorks out, play a Lotho, play a Tam, kind of sits there for a little bit, and then you just win the game. The card's good. I think ever since you included it, it's been good every time you've had it out.
Yeah, and it also stops Hullbreaker Horror Loops, which is one of the most popular win conditions in those types of creature decks, because again, Mox Hopeless Horror Ring, you can only cast 1, then you can't cast anymore, which is super great. Yeah, you can argue that you cast the Mox Opal, bounce the Deafening Silence, and then play the Soul Ring, and then do the loop. But most of the time, there will be other interaction, hopefully. So there is give or take with that type of effect, but it's still pretty good. Yeah. Touch the Spirit Realm is a card that I don't know how I feel about. It's really, really good. It's one you basically never read any channel effects. You don't read anything else on the card, pretty much. It's an enchantment, but it also has the channel ability of 1 white, discard, touch the Spirit Realm, exile target artifact or creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This hits Opposition Agent. Really, really good. This also hits my own Sisay, and I can win at instant speed in the end step, which is super, super important as well. Protects my Sisay, gets rid of Opposition Agent. What else could you ask for?
Yeah, also just protects a Derevi, untap as well. If they redirect it and you're like, cool, I can't do anything, but I have this 2 mana, I'm going to blink the Derevi, and then it's going to come back in my end step, and I'm going to just go through the combo then. Or blink the clone that becomes a Derevi, or anything like that. I think it's, super, super good.
Yeah,
it's 2 mana, hard to interact with protection, which is, channel abilities are broken, and
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. This was one of those cards that I put in kind of thinking about if it was good or not, and then it just overperformed every single time. So it just kind of stayed in the deck.
And just jumping into your lands, I don't know how much your lands are different to other Sisay lists or other Wurberg lists. You're on all the duels or sub 1 duel.
I'm not on Badlands or Bloodstain Mire. Which
so your fetches, you're able to fetch whatever land you need at the time, or you're on Rainbow lands. Not being on Badlands because I'm assuming Mount Doom, because you're never taking Mount Doom out, and it's that Rakdos land.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, it's spot on. Yep.
Yeah, and then you have your Otawara, your Boseiju, which self-explanatory. If you're in blue and green, you run these cards. They're broken. Channel abilities are ridiculous.
Yeah,
and especially since you're on 40 legendary things, and casting them for 1 mana is even better.
Yeah, no, the Beseiju is super glued to this list because of like all the artifacts that stop Sisay from doing Sisay stuff. Adawara, oh, it also hits like Underworld Breach and stuff, which is really great. Adawara is in there for the same reason. Super unique cards. But yeah, like you said, I don't think there's a huge difference between my list versus other Sisay lists. I know that some people don't play Ancient Tomb just because they don't care about the colorless mana. I disagree. I think that's wrong because you can always go like Ancient Tomb into an Arcane Signet into a Birds of Paradise or something like that. You can also cast Marvin really easily with it. Helps you get a Heuristic Study on turn 1 if you have a Lotus Petal. There's like, again, it's one of those like give or take things. I'm not playing Forbidden Orchard at the current moment in time just because in my mind I don't want to give my opponents resources, and I'm playing the mid game. So if I give like a rock, like let's say I'm playing against 3 Cradle decks, I have to give either one of them. I have to give them resources that I don't really want to be doing for like mana. So it's an interesting give or take.
Yeah, I think there's like so many bad decks to give it to. Like you don't want to give it to Rogsai because of
Mhm.
all their sack rituals. You don't want to give it to Kennen. You don't want to give it to Rugdras. It's like you hope there's a mono blue player at the table that doesn't do anything with it, but they're yeah, like it's like very hard to actually go, man, all these 3 decks suck to give it to. Like you can't even give it to like when I'm playing John Dargo. Like that's just 2 mana for Dargo. Thank you. I'll
Oh
take that any
yeah,
day of the
I'm
week.
never giving it to you if you're playing any of those decks. Like yeah, it's really tough for me to try and put it in the deck. Like if it's like my 3rd land drop, it feels great. I think it's also one of those like mulligan things, and we'll get to that in a little bit in a minute. But I feel like it's just maybe a mulligan issue where I when I build decks, I think of the worst situational possible, just because then I don't have to deal with that situation, even if it's like it's a
Yeah.
5-color land. But I'm also like don't want to give my opponents resources. Um, but yeah, I guess like I swapped Arid Mesa out recently. You and I were talking about this on Monday, which I think you made some fantastic points. I took out the Exotic Orchard, which sometimes doesn't tap for all the colors I need, but Arid Mesa goes and gets me everything but what was it? Gets me everything but something Underground
Oh well,
Sea
like it. I don't know what it. Yeah, it doesn't give you Underground Sea,
or Tropical
but like
Island.
it
But yeah,
also gives you access to all these colors anyway.
mm-hmm.
Like it gives you access to like yellow red or yellow green or yellow blue or white. Sorry, not
No, you're
yellow.
good. You good. I
I'm
knew what you were
looking at the
talking about.
color of the card. Um, like no matter what, you're gonna I think guarantee get the color you need. Versus exotic is just like the chance, kind of like the thing with Fellwar Stone, where Fellwar Stone kind of sucks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like this doesn't make me a green. I can't cast my dork. This ancient tomb Felwa zone kind of sucks. Like
No, I couldn't agree with you anymore about that. I think, like I said, I think you made some fantastic arguments. Completely agree with you. I think they're great.
oh yeah, and then yeah, jumping into the planeswalkers. I guess I don't know what one you would want to start with.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so we've kind of covered Ashiok and we've kind of covered Teferi. The main reason that this is getting put in the deck at the moment is because it's a 3 mana. It's a 3 mana legendary. I like to try and stop my opponents from searching their library. That's kind of the idea, is that it's an instant speed stop tuning your library type effect. And it's also there's no chance for them to respond. So let's say someone casts a Vampiric Tutor, they've cast a Nature's Rhythm, some type of thing like that. Instant speed, I can stop them from tutoring, and then no one else can tutor unless they want to kill this Planeswalker. That's when I kind of yap them into not attacking me, be like, hey, you shouldn't kill this because then everyone else will get to tutor. But yeah, super sick. I'm trialing it out, haven't used it yet, but we'll see how it goes. Silence Teferi, don't need to explain it too much. It's basically a 99%
Yeah,
of Sisay lists.
yeah, card's really good. I think most problematic downside is if you somehow get stopped. Is like this card sitting on the board just gives the win to the next person.
Tyvar is this beautiful planeswalker. Basically, all of it kind of does stuff. You may activate abilities of creatures you control so they had face, but it has a +1 uptick that untaps up to 1 target creature. You can untap a Savala or a Bloomtender or a Faber Elder, or you can just untap a creature that you need to make an extra mana with. This card's really good. You can also like do some like really weird Thassa's Oracle loops with it, where you can -2 it, mill 3 cards from your library, return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So you like you just mill your library basically and put Thassa's Oracle into play, win the game, which is like super unique. And then moving on to probably the most outrageously broken, overperforming Planeswalker that I have in this list. This is Teferi, who slows the sunset. Kind of only the top one really matters. You choose up to one target artifact, up to one target creature, up to one target land. You untap the chosen permanents you control, tap the chosen permanents you don't control, you gain 2 life. Really funny that they were like, yeah, just slap 2 life on the end of it. But realistically, this card's free if you have a land, let's say you have a Bird of Paradise, a Soul Ring, and an island of some type, Underground Sea or whatever. It's basically free because you uptick him, you untap those permanents. Pretty darn sick. He also has like a net 2 ability where you look at the top 3 cards of your library, you put one of them into your hand, the rest in the bottom of your library. I've only ever used that once. I don't think it's really that great. And then you have a emblem, which is basically Seaworm Muse. You untap all untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you draw a card during each opponent's draw step, which is like crazy.
Yeah, crazy good, but it's never happening. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. I remember, I think when you first brought it up to me and I read it, and I was like, wait, this card's broken. And I was like, you just like make infinite mana, or like make a ridiculous amount of mana with like a Gaia's Cradle, a Soul Ring, and like a Savala or something like that.
Yeah, it also goes infinite with a particular card. I'm not playing it at the moment. I do think that those cards or that combo is really unique. You play this little guy, and basically you activate Teferi, you hold priority, activate this, make a copy of the Teferi activate, and you make infinite mana. It's really interesting. It's super unique. I haven't had enough time testing it. I might throw it in again and do some more testing, swap some cards around. I'm still in the middle of building my possible list for command again, so we'll see how that looks like for that. But yeah, I think that's basically everything.
Yeah, kind of that's it for the like deck itself. But do you want to jump into, like we talked about a little bit before, but the cons of the deck, or like what's bad about the deck, or what you struggle with in the deck, and yeah, just like the downside of playing Sisay, I guess.
Yeah, I think we covered mainly the biggest con of the deck itself is that it is a commander-centric deck. It's a very heavy commander-centric deck, at least the one that I'm playing at the moment. Again, there might be some adjustments that I make to not let that happen or reduce that from happening, but yeah, you kind of need the commander on the battlefield to kind of do anything with the current setup. That's probably the massive con. Opposition agent. There being a large variety of already played artifacts or stacks pieces. It's the cage, Grafdigger's Cage, that stops basically all my stuff from working.
Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, we have Abrupt Decay and we have Into the Floodmoor, and we have like certain cards to deal with it. But yeah, that would be my main problems is like stacks pieces, opposition agent, and like Sisay being off the board is kind of the huge problems. That's why I do kind of like the Thassa's Oracle plan. I think Comedian summed it up pretty darn well, where he kind of talked about how Thassa's Oracle is like the new Darkside Extortionist, where it comes out of nowhere and it can win very fast, which is like super great. Again, being able to tutor Teferi, again, can't tutor the Teferi. If there's no Sisay, it's very hard to win. I think also something that's like I kind of think we've mentioned, maybe off cam or on cam, I don't know, I'll edit it later and figure it out, is the onboard win presence is like it's super hard to hide the information for someone who very much understands this deck. For example, you understand this deck well, probably because you've had to play against it a lot to, you know.
Yeah, and we also just like talk about it a lot. Like talk about a lot of the cards and kind of how like weird, because I love looking at decks and learning decks. So just like, and this is such a like unique deck. It's just like fun to talk about and learn the lines. And every now and then I'll have some random thought and go like, wait, is this how you win? Like, is this a way to win the game? And you're like, wait, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I think like someone who understands Sisay very well, like it's a lot. I don't want to say it's a lot easier to win when someone doesn't understand what Sisay does, but when I cast Tam and Bloom Tender and they go, "Oh, that's fine. Bloom Tender's scary," and then I go, "Yeah, don't worry about the Tam."
Yeah.
Or like even like having like the bridge, Issachar, Marvin, and Irith on the battlefield, and you just pass the turn and hope that no one realizes that's infinite on your turn, with like just being able to present infinite mana. So yeah, I would say that. I would also say that it's very hard to sometimes come back from a board wipe, especially like in the later games. We had a Kefka who cast a Toxic Deluge, and I about had to go cry in the corner because I had structurally built enough stuff to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, and like was very close to presenting win. And then the toxic deluge came, and it was all gone. Magda did the same thing. There was a Magda player at one of our local tournaments that we played at, and they got a portal to Phyrexia. And yeah, I just didn't have enough creatures. Or I didn't have enough non-important creatures that I could just get rid of to kind of stop me from not being able to win the game. So yeah, those would be the three cons. I mean, the pros we kind of covered already. Being able to win at instant speed is super, super important to me. Not having to cast spells is also super, super important to me. Being able to kind of just like, yeah, I have all these counter spells, but I can't stop this activated ability is super big. It's won me countless games because I just can't interact with the board at all. I would also say like just the variety of stuff, right? The pro of this being a fun deck is that you can kind of play whatever you want. You can take out Bassam, you can take out Skrelv, you can take out Peter Parker. I had Peter Parker's camera. You can play these like not the best cards, but they do cool stuff with this deck is also the thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Don't let Sisay have an activation. Play Trick Bind. Cook him. Don't let him play the game. Play Trick Bind. Even though it cooks Atali as well. Play Trick Bind. But yeah, now we're gonna jump into some test hands, kind of show like what you're looking for in like a starting hand and like what looks like a trap hand. Because sometimes you look at a hand and go, "Wow, this is the best hand," and then you play it out and go, "Wow, this is like absolutely horrific. Why did I ever play Magic the Gathering? I'm so dumb."
Yeah, no,
But
yeah,
yeah,
this deck
do
does
you want
do
to jump into it's kind of showing the first pod. Like see what we're going.
Oh, look at this
So we're
pod.
seat 1. Yeah. So we're seat 1 is Sisay, and then we're versus a Kinnan in seat 2, a Sisay in seat 3, and a Kinnan in seat 4,
Hell
which
yeah.
is crazy. This pod is miserable to play in, and you can't change my mind.
Yeah, look, this pod is definitely going to suck. It's definitely going to be focused on who has the most explosive start to a certain degree. I do think that the first 7 that we are looking at is pretty darn good, to be honest. Going like land Soul Ring and then turn 2 going land into Relic of Legends Mystic Remora, or like even casting Tam Mystic Remora seems even better because I can use the Tam with the Relic of Legends. Seems pretty nasty. I would probably keep this. The Urtai can stick around if I need to hit a Basalt Monolith or something as well. I think I would keep this.
Yeah, this end seems insane. Yeah, you go, land Soul Ring,
Unless
pass.
land Soul Ring, pass. And then land.
And then, draw for turn.
Oh, it's Lotho. That's crazy. Yeah, so we would go probably Windswept Teeth and crack it. Just because I can keep Data Wire available for like if I need to interact with whatever.
Yeah, probably a black land, right? Because you want to be able to cast Lotho. So like black-white Tundra or something like that.
I'd get Scrub for sure.
No, not Tundra, Scrubland.
Whoops. I get. Oh, there we go. Cool. Glad I know how this works. Shuffle.
So yeah, and then you can either tap for 3 cast Relic Legends, and then cast Loth, or you can either go Lotho now or Mystic Remora.
Well, I can't do. I'd have to like have a planes here. It's
Yeah,
sad.
you can't do both.
No, I know. I just wanted to try and get the relic of the Lotho trigger for casting Lotho and then something else.
Yeah, no.
But I can do. I think
But
it's. I think it's the Relic of Legends into Lotho into Mystic Remora because I can tap the Lotho with the Relic of Legends to cast it, which is crazy. This is such a gnarly hand. This hand's cooked.
Crazy.
Like what do I got? Like let's say.
And then
Yeah.
Turn 2. This is your board, seat 1. So everyone's probably gonna play. You're getting probably like 3 draws in this turn cycle, like no matter what.
Dude, the treasure, the draw is nice. Like the card draw is great, but also the treasures are kind of more important, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
but also the treasure.
Dismember for a cannon or some shit. Yeah, dude, this hand's gnarly. I mean, the Essica's nice. I'd probably cast the Tam over the Issaka though. Like, can we win?
Yeah, well, it's Issaka doesn't do that much because it's. You already have the relic out. So yeah, play your Scalding Tarn, I guess.
I pay for the Mystic Remora. I play Scalding Tarn. I cast Sisay. And then I use Sisay and the Tropical Island to play Tam, trigger Lotho, make a treasure. and then I just pass. Because then if I have 3 treasures, I can tutor for Savala and just win. Yeah, sick. Game.
Yeah.
This card's
Yeah,
good.
this was like a turn 4
That's-
like good win. Like,
yeah. And then I have the Dismember
and
and the
there's no
Urtai
Oppo in the
too.
pod. So
Yeah. There's like
yeah.
Urtai, Dismember, and Adawara for interaction too. Like, again, I don't need counter spells if I have Urtai. It's a creature that's really good, especially here. Dude, even if I have, like, let's say I don't have 5 treasures on my turn. Wait, no, I have, yeah, I definitely have 2 treasures here, probably. I'm 1 treasure away from just winning the game. So, yeah, this hand's pretty sick. This hand's pretty busted. You want to go look at another one?
Yeah, definitely.
Sick.
I think this is a bait hand, is what it looks like.
Yeah, I think so too. Our pod is Timna Crom in seat 1, me in seat 2, and then Thrasios Timna, Dargo Timna in seat 4. Yeah, I think it's the too many lands, not enough early mana. Like Faber Elder and Enduring Vitality are really great, but there's nothing to use them with.
Yeah, you're kind of land pass until turn 3. Or like you have one silence, I guess, on the early turns. But yeah, I think this is kind of what, like, it looks really good, right? You have Enduring Vitality, you have Faber Elder, but you're like most likely not getting to Faber Elder and Enduring Vitality like on the board.
Let's go look at a
Mulligan, not keep.
Automatic Mulligan. Just
Yep.
dude, if there was a land,
So
if there was a land, oh my gosh. This is a Mulder 6. I get rid of the Ashiok. If I have a land, Bird of Paradise, Ruby, Lotho, Dismiss. Oh my god. And Relic. Oh my god. Could you imagine? Mulligan. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Mulligan.
So keep him 5.
What are we down to? Keeping a 4 here. Yeah, I'd probably keep this.
Land, Arcane Signet, Tithe. Like
I'll probably go. I could probably go.
Land Scroll of Arcane Signet.
It's hard to tell. What's our pod? We're going second. Yeah,
well, it's my argument is like Smothering Tide's making you infinite mana in this pod. There's so many draw. Like people are gonna draw 300 cards.
It is. But then we're right. I guess we're hoping for a land at some point or a mana rock or a mana dork or something. Yeah.
But you're also like, you're also hoping for that with Scrove, right? Like you're not casting Scrove on turn 1 and then casting Sisay on turn 3. Like with this hand.
I can tutor for Scrove with this.
In my opinion,
go and get Tundra. I can go and get Savannah and then cast Scrove. Or I can go and get Tundra and cast Grove.
Yeah. But like the argument of like, is that doing anything for you?
Oh no, you're right. It's definitely this, and then hopefully we draw a land or something like that. Let's do.
Yeah.
Let's keep this 4. What are we putting back?
So we have to.
No. We're bottoming this and this.
Yeah. Like that's what I would do. I don't know. Like I think that's the right choice personally.
No, I think you're right.
This is where you need a Surveil Land because Surveil Lands are the best card.
we don't keep a Surveil Land. No, I think you're right. You are correct that I am going to be drawing 1,000. I'm going to make 1,000 treasures with both of these decks. So you're right there.
Yeah.
And then for turn we draw Ristic Study. So lol. Yeah. So we just go land. Oh, Birds of Paradise. So we go this. Arcane Signet, Birds of Paradise. Turn 3. Turn whatever land. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, and then like you can also like this is probably like a situation where like guys, I have this Smothering Tithe. If you don't show me a counterspell, I'm gonna cast it. I'll cast the Ristic Study instead. I'll draw cards. I think that's like a very good, like that's a kind of point of yappage, because like people aren't gonna let you resolve the Tithe. Oh, cool, I have this Ristic Study. You let me resolve a Ristic Study though. Like I'm not that good with Ristic Study, but it gets me back in the game.
Yeah, to be honest,
and like, sometimes I'll say no, but sometimes you get a free Ristic Study that doesn't get counted. Like.
I probably fearmonger both the Thrasios Timna and the Timna Crom into going, cool, you can waste your counters on my Smothering Tithe and then lose to the Timna Dargo. Yeah. I mulled the 4. They kept a second 7. Like I think you're right. Yapping is so powerful. So yeah, I think you're right. Definitely. I think that was good choices.
Yeah, I think we can look at one more pod. So here's like a So what? We're Rakdos the Muscle seat 1, Timna Crom seat 2, Kennen seat 3, and you're seat 4. This is, I don't know. This hand like looks kind of good, but also might be one of those bait. It's kind of like a bait hand. It looks like 3 mana on turn 1.
Yeah,
Or
but
like 2 mana on turn 1 with a Fellwar Stone, yeah.
the problem is that if I had like a Birds of Paradise or a Delighted Halfling or like a 1 mana
Or a Dork or
legend,
something like
yeah,
that,
it
yeah.
looks way better because I am putting 3 or 4 mana out on turn 1. But the Legolas's quick reflexes is also a really dead card in this hand. I really don't want to keep Legolas's quick reflexes. I want to draw it later on. So yeah, I would say that we would definitely mulligan this one. There's
Insta
no
go to
lands.
6.
Yeah. It's close.
This is what, like, is that a red land? No, you don't have red, so you can't cast
Yeah,
Ruby,
it's
right?
why it's close, yeah.
Yeah, like if Visagia was like a red land, you go, what, like land Mox Amber and then land Ruby, have access to 2 mana. Next turn, Asika.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
probably do Irith and then Asika later on because then Irith is mana versus Asika does nothing. Well,
yeah,
like it is
cool.
mana as well, but it's also like I can
Yeah, I
untap
guess
the
you go to
Ruby and
5.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I keep
I'm
this.
looking at good cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
what you keep the land, Vamp, Felwar Stone, Cabbage Man or
It's
some
probably
shit?
Gaia's Cradle and Asika.
Yeah, the 2 bottoms, yeah.
Isika, yeah, because I can Polluted Delta. I play that. Go get Underground Sea. Yeah, let's play it out.
Yeah.
Keep this 5. Put the Gaia's Cradle in the bottom. We draw for turn. Oh, does that change anything?
I still think you play a later fish.
Yeah.
I think you're going turn 1 Vamp Tutor for like a Soul Ring or something like that. I'm not 100% what you're doing, but Soul Ring seems good. Because you're either turn 1 Cabbage Manning or turn 2 Felwar Stone Mystic Remora.
Well, the
Like for me,
plan.
Soul Ring here is really good.
Yeah, so the plan is Polluted Delta for land for turn pass in
Yeah.
seat 4, and then end step we Underground Sea Vampiric Tutor for Soul Ring, and then it's land. It's land, Felwar Stone, Soul Ring, Felwar Stone, fish.
Fish. Yeah.
And hopefully, like for turn, this would obviously change, but that's the concept. I think that's a really good game plan. And then you can cast the Cabbage Merchant on. You can pay for fish, cast Cabbage Merchant, which is really really powerful because then you have the card draw and the mana going into Rakdos. Rakdos' third turn or fourth turn, which at that point they're probably trying to win the game. Tim McCrom's got some stuff to try and slow them down, and then Kennen, same thing. Kennen wants to win turn 5, turn 6 as well. So we kind of get into that point where you're not the threat because of the Rakdos being in seat 1, and then Kennen and Crom are going to fight each other because they both kept first 7. So you are kind of comfortable in that spot. I think that was a good keep.
Yeah. It's just like a good hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going Ashling the Limitless in seat 1, Yoshi Thras in seat 2, you in seat 3, and then Kefka in seat 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at this hand, and it is throw it away because there's no lands.
Oh, second 7's also gone. Man, I tell
Yeah.
you, these apps, they never understand. They never get it. I'm playing more than 4 lands. Oh yeah, this is a keep. That's pretty good. It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, this hand's good.
Pretty darn good. Yeah, it's same conversation as before. We don't really care too much about the turn 1 Mystic Remora. I feel like they're bad turn 1 Mystic Remoras. You can go Command Tower into Birds of Paradise, and then turn 2 go land into
Yeah.
Mystic Remora, then have a Vampiric Tutor available to go and get like a Smothering Tithe or something like that. It does feel bad. We probably we get rid of the land, or do we keep the deflecting spot? Is the question.
That was kind of going to be my question: is do you keep the land or do you pitch the SWAT? Because like I think your plans, you're not going to have Sisay out on turn 2.
Mm-mm.
Maybe SWAT's the bottom because like it's just going to be dead in hand until Sisay's out.
Oh, this is so close to being almost okay.
So yeah, the pods are Malcolm Tana, which we actually versed and it won the tournament that we played at last weekend. We have Sisay in seat 2, we have Atraxa in seat 3, and we have Rogsai in seat 4. Man, this hand's crazy. This is keep, right? This is a turn 2 Smothering Tithe.
No, I don't have a red source. I don't have a black source to Vampiric Tutor.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was quite upset. It's also like it's hard for me to try and like keep a greedy hand like this, especially with a Rogsai at the table and like not very heavy interactive decks. I mean, I don't really know what Malcolm Tana's running, but I would basically,
It's not interactive.
yeah, I would
That's
kind of be
just
like, we
win
need some.
cons.
I would, yeah, definitely try and mulligan more to try and find something for the Rogsai, just because I
Yeah,
want to make
and
sure
like
that they don't have
and
it.
like the redirect lightning's not good
Yeah.
against Rogsai. It's like you can redirect the first brain freeze. Like maybe that fucks them up, but like, man, yeah, not good.
Yeah, I'd probably mulligan this because like I can go like I can hope to draw a black source like land and then like we're good, but probably gonna mulligan and I draw a bloom tender, which again isn't horrible, but it doesn't help the plan of the smothering tithe early enough. But yeah, let's mulligan. Oh, this is good. This is like
Come on,
not
Ragavan to Spider Woman, which is really good into Rogsai.
yeah. So like Ragavan and then Spider Woman and then I have like Faber Elder Cannon and Cradle, like these are really good cards. And it's like this will hopefully Spider Woman will hopefully slow down the Rogsai. That's why I have Spider Woman in the deck is to try and hit that Rogsai. So I probably do keep this. I probably do play super
Funny
greedy.
enough, it also cooks Malcolm Tana because
Mhm.
Glinthorn will come in tapped.
Oh yeah, yeah
And
for
also
sure.
all the treasures from Malcolm will come in tapped. So yeah, Spider Woman is actually really good in this spot.
Yeah, I think that's actually really powerful. Let's do this. We're gonna draw for turn. Oh, and we draw Silence, which is crazy. Because like we can attack with the Ragavan hopefully and get a treasure, which we can either hold for that or yeah. So we Vampire, Verdant Catacombs for Tiger, and then we get Ragavan out. And then next turn it's draw. I think I just attack with Ragavan, make a treasure, cast the Ignoble Hierarch, and then play Spider Woman, and then go to turn 3. Draw for turn is Marvin, which is kind of crazy. I play Gaia's Cradle as my land for turn. I tap this for 3. I tap the Cradle for 3 green. Hope that I can get him with Cannon, with Ragavan, because if I can get him with Ragavan, I can cast the Cannon, which makes like a little bit easier. Depends on the board state, but the goal here is that I can play the Cannon, the Gaia's Cradle, the Faber Elder, and hopefully the Marvin all in the same turn, so that when I untap on turn 4 or turn 3 or whatever it is, turn 4, I have a Silence, and I have double Marvin. I double Faber Elders.
Editing Jack here. Just something to take note while I'm watching this recording back is that on turn 2, instead of casting the Mana Dork, I should just hold up the treasure for a Silence that is in my hand. I'm versing a Rogsai. Rogsai's want to go fast. If Rogsai has a Necropotence on turn 1, or looks like they're going to push on their second turn, I really should hold that Silence available, just instead of casting the Noble Hierarch. Being able to tap it for double green, double black, or double red is super nice going into my third turn, but I'm not trying to win turn 3, turn 4 is kind of where I want to win, and being able to survive that turn is super important. So I think keeping the treasure available to cast the Silence is super important. Just something to think about that I saw while editing this part.
Yeah, you're tapping the Faber Elders for 3 mana, so 6 mana.
This makes...
And then you have the Marvin and Guys out, so you have like 9. So yeah, you have like 15 mana on turn 4 or something that. Like,
yeah, it's a very good hand. Depends on like what the rest of the pod's doing. It's a very good hand for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that is Sisay. Is there anything else that you kind of want to like put out there, talking about the deck a little bit, or that we've like missed talking about today?
No, I think I'll just do like, I don't think there's anything particular, but I'll do a quick wrap up for sure. I definitely think that this deck is really incredible. I think there is a large community of very talented, very committed players, as there is for a large variety of the commanders that are in this format. But definitely, if you want to pick up this deck, definitely join the Discord. Check out the Sisay book. It's definitely got all the information how to win the game. But like I said, there's so many different varieties. If you want to play Planeswalkers, there's a list for it. You want to play Gigantha and have a bit of fun, there's a list for it. You want to play 5-color, tutor a Silence effect. It's really good. I think this deck is really powerful. I know that I try and play it off that it's not, but I think this deck's really great and I love it to death. So yeah.
Don't let Sisay's yap to the table and watch them win the game. Tell them to sit there and watch their Sisay die for the 4th time in the game, and yeah, don't let them yap.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong to kill the Sisay because I can get
Al-
tie. As
Always
I've
kill
been
the
telling,
Sisay. Don't listen to him.
I can
Cool,
get.
he'll get the tie and then he untaps and he wins the game. Don't listen to him. You just tell him, hey, give me a draw then. If you're gonna get the tie, give me a draw. Don't let him get the points on you. He's just gonna yap. Don't listen to him.
This deck is incredible. I feel so powerful. I've played countless decks in this format. I've played pretty much almost everything. I've played almost everything. And nothing feels as good as Sisay has. This deck has overperformed. It forced me to buy Gaia's Cradle because I wanted to play in tournaments where non-proxies were available, and Gaia's Cradle was so good that I ate for the deck. So yeah, deck's good.
Yeah,
Deck
no, this deck is really cool. I think just like the toolbox, describing it as like a toolbox deck, and like you just get to play so many cool cards. You get to play a bunch of legends. Hopefully, like next coming sets, like Marvel coming out, there's going to be some like Giga Strong legends that are going to be ridiculously broken
Oh,
for
dude,
Sisay, I'm sure.
you're so right. That is such a pro
Like,
of this deck. Is that this deck gets better every set because they just print legendaries.
yeah,
You're so
it's
right.
like no matter what, there's like always a Sisay card because there's always legendaries in every set. Like,
But yeah, if you guys do enjoy this type of content, like us doing deck techs, like seeing interviews, please let us know down below what you want to see. I think that we are trying really hard to get the Iron Man dude on that has the Iron Man deck from last week's video. I really want to talk to him about that deck because I think it's really sick. But again, if you do enjoy these type of deck tech videos, you can go check out our Dargo Rayhan video where Riley goes into depth about his Dargo Rayhan list. I think it's really sick. Definitely worth checking that out. Go check out our other videos. We do one every week. We do anything from deck techs to cEDH wrap up from tournaments that we go to. We do everything cEDH if you guys do enjoy. Thank you for watching.
yeah, easy. See ya.